So in this video, I'm going to go over how to make a grid layout for your editorial layout lab. And the first thing you need to do before we kind of start thinking about the first part of the lab, which is a grid assignment, and then the second part of the lab, which is laying out some content from your midterm research project, the first thing you have to do is really look at the content that you have, and then you're going to create a grid to kind of accommodate that. So what you need to do is you have to start off in some kind of a word processing software, like MS Word is a really good one. And I'm using Malia's example, or part of her research project. She included some commentary about Vincent van Gogh's artwork and the influence of Japonism on that. So I thought this was just a good chunk of information. Her presentation had a lot more information, but you have to edit down your content to about 750 words. So it really helps to take some of your content into MS Word and edit it down, and it's a good thing to do, because then you can edit it, you can do a word count. It's got some really good features with being able to manage, a text document. But also, as you can see, we'll highlight words. I'm going to see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Maybe it'll be easier to see. It can highlight some words, and that should alert us that we can make some spelling checks or whatever. So, for example, I think this is a word. There we go. So just a little spelling check there. Some of them are correct. It's just that MS Word doesn't recognize them. Sometimes a little green line means that the sentence is kind of funny. So let's read that. The branches and trunk of the tree. We need creates interesting open spaces. There we go. So, and there's one down here, analogous. Okay, so you can basically, fine-tune your written content. You can do a word count, so you're dealing with about 750 words is a good amount of text, and kind of just lay it out. I've got a headline here I want to make bigger. Let me see here. How big is this text? So you have to give your story some kind of a title or a headline. So I'd put that in, and then I've got my graphic over here, and you need to include at least two. So just for the purpose of demonstration, I have one, but you're going to need two. So this is the first step, to put your content in a word processing, kind of edit it a bit so it feels like a nice 750 word little essay. And that's really the first step, because then you know kind of what content you have. And it's really important to know what the content you have in order to build a grid. So I'm going to pause here, and then I'm going to introduce grids. And it's kind of hard imagining what a grid is if you don't imagine it in the context of the content that you're laying out. So it's really important to get your content established, and then you're going to make your grid. And then you're going to put your content into that grid layout. So it's kind of 3 steps. So this is the first step, just to get your content ready. And this is also in a graphic design project or a web design project. The content, you really can't start planning how you're going to make a website or a page or an editorial layout until you know what content you're working with. So content is really important in terms of determining what the design is going to be.